I mean, let's be clear. This isn't a political moment. It's a Parents Matter moment. And what I've found is that it's not Republicans versus Democrats. It's not rural versus urban. It's not a racial issue. It's not a religious issue. This is about the rights of parents to not just be at the table, but to be at the head of the table in their children's lives. And ultimately, yes, to work with a team, teachers who are extraordinary. Do we have any teachers here today? Thank you. Former teachers? Perfect. Thank you for all that you do and loving kids. Teachers, administrators, and everybody else that's around that table with our children. Parents have to be at the head of that table. And they have to be the one that have the ultimate decision rights with regards to their children. Children belong to parents, not to the state. The learning loss that we are seeing is predominantly presenting itself in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. This is where we're seeing it most predominantly present itself. Why? Because putting a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old in front of a 12-inch screen and telling them to be still and do their work for an extended period of time was a horrific challenge that every teacher I know came up with every innovative way you could in order to try to embrace that moment. But the fact that schools were unnecessarily closed for an extended period of time extended that entire circumstance, and the physical presence of a student and a teacher together in a classroom is now shown study after study after study after study to be the most important ingredient into a student's ability to learn when coupled with an engaged parent. So we have now seen this moment where students feel behind, they feel like they're not learning, they feel challenged. On top of that, we see the influence of social media. Thank you for sharing that. And finally, we see a spike in self-harm reports, literally a doubling of self-harm in teenagers. We know that an extraordinary number of kids across the Commonwealth of Virginia, 80% are deeply engaged with social media every day. 25% say that they're 24/7. Think through that. They're sleeping with their phones on. We've got a real challenge. I believe that we need to put restrictions on social media companies' ability to harvest, gather, and sell the data of our children. Right now, the way that the consumer protection laws are written is it's 13 and under. We introduced a bill to extend that up to 18 to under 18, and the other side didn't want to do that. They felt that they were going to side with social media companies over families. Again, that's not a political statement, that's a parent statement. And so we've got, in my view, a real issue. Think about it. For a 14-year-old to have his or her data collected, where they are, what they're doing, and packaged and sold, and then they're to be hit with particular advertising for something that unfortunately is going to particularly appeal to them because they've run an algorithm, that is wrong. And we're going to work in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I know there's efforts at the federal level, in order to stop that practice. I think parents should have to give express authority for a minor to be on a particular social media site. That's up to parents. They have to give express authority. Side note, we did get a bill passed that did say express authority must be gained from a parent for a pornography account, and that one we were able to get passed through bipartisan support. That is stunning, because how in the world would you not have a parent enrolled here? I have to say, one of the results of that was that the largest pornography site withdrew totally from being in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Totally. Gone. So this is a moment for us to step up and, again, empower parents to be engaged in their children's lives. Recognize that oftentimes our kids think there are things they know everything about and are good for them, and that's the time for a parent to be most engaged. And so we're continue to work in order to get that bill in the Senate, and I want to get it passed in the Senate next time and on my desk so I can sign it so that we can empower parents to make sure that they are deeply engaged with the role of social